Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kate and I love all things makeup, beauty, skincare, and fun. Today we're going to be going over all of the makeup and skincare and a little bit of body care that I used throughout the year, aka digging through my trash. So if you're interested in this type of content, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, and without any further ado, let's go. Okay, so we'll start with a little bit of body care. I know that I've gone through more body scrubs than this, but I went through multiples of these. So I didn't save all of them. I cleaned out and recycled the rest of the empty containers. The first one that I've gone through a couple of is this one by Tree Hut. This is their Firming Sugar Scrub. People say that this is a dupe for the Boom Boom Cream, the original scent by Sol de Janeiro. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty similar. It's not quite spot on, but it's pretty similar. Similar enough at this price point that I would be more willing to pay this price point, and consequently I go through or I have gone through multiples of these. That is primarily what kind of keeps me not buying the one from Sol de Janeiro, is that I go through these pretty rapidly. I use it pretty frequently. I use a lot of it. When I do, I really go in. It just makes me feel good. So love this. I will continue to purchase this brand. I enjoy this scent, but I've used a number of these this year, so I think I'm ready for some other scents. Another one that I did use this year, there's another product in here, so if you hear the jingling, that's what that is Dr. Teal's. This is the Rose Essential Oil one. I don't know. I like the scrub just fine. Like, as far as the effectiveness of the product goes, this I thought worked quite well. I just don't think I'm a rose person. I thought maybe I loved it, but I don't think that like artificial rose scent is maybe my thing. So I probably would not buy this scent again. If they had other scents, I would be willing to investigate that. But I'm not a huge rose scent person. It wasn't terrible. Like, it didn't deter me from using the product. I went through several of these this year, but it's not my favorite. The product that is in here is by Nude Sticks, and it was a micro peel for my face. Let's see. Lemonade Detox and Glow Micro Peel. So I liked this just fine. It wasn't anything... I clearly need to still wash these out. It wasn't anything like life-changing or anything. I did feel like it worked well in terms of sometimes my skin can be a little bit picky and be acne prone. It kind of goes through waves, and I did feel like that scrub did a nice job of keeping my acne at bay. I don't honestly know if they even make that anymore. I'm pretty sure I got that in some kind of a subscription box. So I'm not sure that I could even repurchase it if I wanted to. But at this point, I have other products that I'm more interested in. The other thing is, in terms of getting back on the body care that I want to talk about, is this by Tree Hut. So this was their Firming Whipped Shea Body Butter in the scent Tropic Glow. So I used it all up. I do like the scent. It does remind me of Boom Boom Cream. And again, it's so much more cost effective than Boom Boom Cream that, like, I'm more inclined to grab onto this. I don't know. I like it. I like it fine. I do feel like it did a nice job hydrating. I don't know that it's like the most amazing thing that I've ever used in my life, but it was fine, especially if you can find this brand on sale. I think that it works, again, fine. Nothing mind-blowing, but I did enjoy it. I do have one hair care product in here, and I don't admittedly have a ton, but I went through one of these bad boys this year. I've gone through more dry shampoos than just this one, but I don't think I saved them. I've gone through a couple of Batistes, and I enjoy Batistes. It works just as well as any of the others. This one is by IGK, and this is their Direct Flight Multitasking Matcha Dry Shampoo, medium cleanse level, texturizing. I did like this one. There's another, I honestly don't even know if I got this in a subscription box too. I don't know if they make this one anymore. I know that they have one that kind of looks similar, but it's like a gray and white packaging, and I don't like that one. Oh my gosh. I think it probably is like a maximizing as far as like cleansing. But my problem is that it adds a lot of texture, and it made it really hard when I was like using that to like brush my hair out after the fact. Like it made it so tangly. It was just like so unpleasant. But this one didn't do that. So if I was able to get my grubby little hands on this again at a discounted price, certainly. But that being said, I like Batiste, so it's like if I can find this one on sale, that's awesome, because this one was really, really good, but it's a little more expensive. So, and it's one of those products that I use pretty regularly, like at least once a week. So it's kind of hard, in my opinion, to like make that be cost effective to buy a bottle of dry shampoo that's like $20. Seems a little much. I went through a couple of toners this year. The first one I went through is this one by Gloasis. This is their Milk Dew pH Balancing Moisture Milk Toner. I definitely got this in a subscription box. It worked just fine. It wasn't anything spectacular. I didn't necessarily notice that it did anything in terms of like moisturizing my skin. I liked it fine. I admittedly don't know how much this retails for, but I'm gonna guess that it's like a little bit more than I'm willing to pay. And I also don't admittedly know where I'd find this again. It was fine. It wasn't my favorite. Usually if I'm using a toner, I'm doing what I'm trying to do is either combat oil and dirt and grime, or I'm trying to like hydrate my skin, and I just didn't notice that this did either of those things. So it was fine, would not like run out and grab it. The other one I went through was this one. This is by Good Molecules, and it's their Niacinamide Brightening Toner. I actually did like this quite a bit. It wasn't a super potent toner in the sense that like some of these, usually ones with like the word milk in it are not going to be super astringent and super harsh, but sometimes the ones that like don't have that claim can be a little bit more harsh. I did not find this to be harsh. My skin, that being said, my skin really likes niacinamide, so I did find that this did a nice job of like clearing my pores, but also providing some hydration to the face. So this one I would definitely repurchase again. I'm currently going through one by Elf, so I don't need one right away, but I really actually enjoyed this one. I went through a couple of makeup removing products. The first one I went through is by Elf. This is their Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm, and it's from their Holy Hydration line. I enjoyed this quite a bit, actually. This did a really nice job in terms of being thorough. I didn't find that it really left behind a ton of residue. When I wear makeup, I typically almost always double cleanse my skin, just because if I leave a speck of makeup like on my skin and then I accidentally apply skincare over it, it's absolutely, it's going to turn into a giant breakout. My skin just can't handle it. So in that way, I did find that this did a nice job. What was a little annoying is that it's kind of a small container. Like this lasted me, I think, a couple months. I think honestly, like in terms of comparison, if I'm not mistaken, this is like on par with like pharmacy for pricing, just because of the size. If I'm not mistaken, it might be like a little bit more cost effective, but like in terms of like how much you're getting, I wish it was a little more cost effective. However, it is definitely more accessible. Like I can go to my local Target and pick this up, whereas I would, if I want to get the pharmacy one, I have to order that through Sephora. So this one is definitely more accessible. I'm using one right now. I think it's by Vanilla & Co. if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken on the name. It's a Korean skincare brand. I got it on sale back in the summer. And that is a huge tub. So thankfully, like that's lasting me quite a while. That again, these types of products are something that I use almost every single day. Much less certainly in the summer, but I use them very frequently, so I go through it very frequently, so cost effectiveness is key for me. The cost effective one I did go through, this was the Micellar Cleansing Jelly. This is by Neutrogena. I used this up this year, and it says 7% emollient vitamin complex. I have no idea what that means. I do like this. It's okay. This one was not as thorough as this one. So with this one, I absolutely had to double cleanse. That being said, I do that anyways, so. But I will say I don't know if it's the like texture of it. I did find that it melted away most of my makeup. But I felt more so like I did have to go in and wash my face a second time when I used this. That being said, I typically don't use micellar waters because of that. Like, I always feel like there's some kind of a film on my face. This was less of that, but it still didn't feel like squeaky clean, if you know what I mean, when I was done. So I did have to go in with another type of cleanser. So in terms of like which one would I buy again, I would buy this one for sure over the Neutrogena. I'm trying to see how many fluid ounces this one has, and it doesn't look like it's gonna tell me. This one has 6.3 fluid ounces, so you get quite a bit of product. It's pretty cost effective. It's just not my favorite. It's certainly not a bad option. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, it broke my skin out or something. It's just not my favorite. I went through a decent amount of skincare this year, which is good because that was like one of my goals, was to like be better about making sure that I am doing my skincare routine and using up products that I have. Some of these are minis, so certainly that contributes, but nonetheless, the first thing I went through was this little travel size of the Super Clarify by e.l.f. I actually really enjoy this. This one is something that if I can, I will absolutely repurchase. Actually, I should check their website. I will absolutely repurchase in the full size. I do feel like it did a nice job of like really clearing out my face, clearing out my pores. This one does have niacinamide, and again, my face loves niacinamide. So I will definitely be repurchasing this, but in a bigger size. The other thing I went through was this sunscreen. This is by Tula, and it is their Protect and Glow Daily Sunscreen Gel, SPF 30. So I have a couple of thoughts. So here's the thing. This is a glow, of course. It's a glowy sunscreen. It says it right in the name, Protect and Glow. And I do like the way that this makes my skin look. It's going to add like a really subtle glow. I do feel like this worked really well in terms of I would wear this, of course, every day as part of my skincare routine, but then I would wear, like when I went to the beach, SPF 50 on top of it. And I do feel like I did not get a burnt face very often this summer. However, in the summertime, I have combination skin. For reference, I'm 33 years old. I live in New England. It was so hot and humid here this summer that the added glow was not helpful in the summertime, just because I already was a sweaty, greasy mess. That being said, it's like this did what it was supposed to do. It just wasn't for my skin type in the summertime. In the winter, I think that this is a great option if you have combination skin, because especially if you live in New England or in an area where it gets really cold and dry in the winter, I think this is a really lovely option. My snafu is that like I have to switch out what I'm using come summertime, and then I am kind of getting closer and closer to that expiration date, and certainly I don't want it to go bad. So that was kind of my only with this. That being said, this goes bad in February of 2024, so I thankfully made it. And I did buy this the summer 2022, so it has a decent shelf life. It's just something worth noting. Like, it is indeed going to do what it says, and it's going to give you dewy skin. But if you're somebody, especially in summer, that has sweat or grease, or it's 1,000 degrees, and your skin is like, Mayday, Mayday, this is not going to like make you look your best, if you know what I mean. So I went through, I totally forgot about this. I should have mentioned this with the toners. I did go through this. This is by Fenty Skin. It is their Fat Water Pore Refining Toner Serum. I actually really enjoyed this. I almost picked it up during the Black Friday event for Sephora because I thought Fenty Skin was going to be on sale, but then it wasn't on sale, so I was like, ay. But regardless, I do actually want to get a full bottle of this at some point because I did enjoy it for the short amount of time that I was able to use it. The thing with like skincare minis like this for me is that I can't, especially toner, I use it twice a day, is that this lasts 2 days. You know what I mean? Like, so I can't really tell. The consistency was a little bit different because it was like a bit more serum-y than liquidy. But I am interested in trying this in the full size. I've had this for probably 2 or 3 years at this point. And I finally used it up this year. This is the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. This was a cult classic probably back in 2016, 2017. Everyone was talking about how this was just such a beautiful setting spray. This is not a beautiful setting spray. This is absolutely not a beautiful setting spray. This is one of my favorite Tatcha products. It's not a beautiful setting spray. It's beautiful. When I am done, I'll put on my serum, I'll put on my moisturizer. If it's the daytime, I put on my SPF, and I seal it with this, especially in the winter, because it's gonna provide intense hydration. So this, and I've also tried the matching moisturizer. I love that as well, but this like really adds moisture and hydration, and it sets beautifully into the skin, and it really adds beautiful luminosity where otherwise it would be like dry, flaky skin. But if you put this, in my experience, if you put this over your makeup, it's going to break up your makeup, especially if you have powder, because it has oil in it. Maybe it doesn't actually have oil in it, but it does say over makeup. I did not find that it wore well. I did not at all find that it wore well, because it's not, I don't know. I find this as beautiful as a skincare product, not as a setting spray, because it's not going to do anything in terms of longevity. If anything, for me, it shortened the life of my makeup by like kind of breaking it down, because there was just a lot going on. I love this. I will absolutely be repurchasing this probably pretty soon, admittedly. I am working on one by Dialba. I think that's how you said. I do prefer this though. I do think that this works a little bit better, and it smells lovely. I just love everything Tatcha. Love everything. I love the way everything smells from Tatcha. Speaking of Tatcha, I also went through one of these. This is their Indigo Overnight Repair Cream. I do enjoy this. So it has a serum in here, so it's a pretty heavy consistency. It's not as heavy, if I cannot think of the name of that. It's in a purple jar, but it's their super hydrating moisturizer. It's not as thick as that. That's like uncannily thick. It's not as thick as that, but it is a pretty like intensely nourishing moisturizer. Of course, I wore this before I went to bed. I liked this really well when I mixed it with a retinol. My only kind of gripe, I guess, with it is that I wish that there was like a retinol in here. I wish that was the serum in here. Retinols and my skin they get along well. I prefer to use one almost every single day. So I think that was kind of where I was a little bit like, I do like it. I will probably repurchase it again once the current moisturizer that I'm using has a retinol in it. So when I run out of that, I would be willing to try this again. But what would make me more happy is if I had a moisturizer with retinol in it, because I prefer retinols at night. It just makes me feel good. I also went through this serum. This is by Herbivore. It is their Prism Serum. It's 12% AHA and 3% BHA Exfoliating Glow Serum. I do like this. I don't know that I noticed like a ton of difference. At one point I thought it was breaking me out, but that was something else. I tried mixing this with a salicylic acid serum, and that was a fiasco. So I think that this did do something, definitely. Like, I did find that my skin was pretty bright. It was pretty hydrated. I used this throughout the spring and summer, so I enjoyed it. I don't know that I'd run out and grab it. Like, Drunk Elephant's vitamin C serum, I absolutely love that. Tatcha's vitamin C serum, absolutely love that. Tatcha's water cream, Tatcha's that purple I cannot remember the name of it. This purple super hydrating what do you call it? Moisturizer. Oh my gosh, my brain. Like, there's just other brands that I would rather purchase from than Herbivore, in terms of like, I've had better effects and efficacy with other brands products. It's not a bad option if you really like AHAs and BHAs. I say it's worth a go, but that being said, it's a pretty expensive serum. I got that in a Lucky Box from Beautylish a couple years ago. No, it must have been last December or the December before, and I just used it this year. But regardless, I thankfully did not pay full price, but I don't know that I would. I don't know. It's okay. It's just okay. Speaking of Drunk Elephant, I went through one of these. I'm actually about to go through another one. This is just one of their little travel sizes of their Proteiny polypeptide cream. I like this product. I like it. However, I get, and I can't remember if it's mycelia. It's something where you get like little white bumps kind of near your eyes. And this I think does that for me. So I have to be really mindful to not apply it near my eyes. But that being said, the rest of my face actually seems to really enjoy this. I think if I had the full size, I would feel a little bit better about it because the full size comes with a pump, so you're not dipping your finger in. Because as it stands, I get kind of paranoid about like if I am contaminating it by digging my grubby little paws in there. So I like the packaging of the full size better. That being said, I have a couple more of their little minis that I need to go through. And it's not my absolute favorite, but I do enjoy it nonetheless. They have a new one that I want to try, so I might pick that up coming up here. The last skincare thing I have to talk about is this mini by Charlotte Tilbury. This is her Magic Cream. This one I used up in the beginning of the year, and I actually really enjoyed it. That being said, it would absolutely not have worked for me in the summer. I used mine up, golly, I think sometime it had to have been in like January, February, because it's a pretty intense hydration. It's a pretty thick and emollient texture, and I enjoyed that. I was happy to have tried it, and it's one of those where, and it's kind of the same for that purple Tatcha one, where it's too much for the summertime / springtime / like early fall time, because when it starts to get roasty toasty out, my skin changes, and it just would be too much during the day. So it was a really nice cream for the winter during the day, or even like at nighttime. I think it would even be okay for my combination skin, but during the day in the summer it would have been too heavy. But nonetheless, I enjoyed it. I did go through a fragrance, and this one is by Terry Mugler. This is her Alien Fusion, I think. Yes, I think that's what that says at the bottom. This was a limited edition one from quite a while ago. I've had this, of course, since it launched. I love Mugler's fragrances, especially from her Alien line. This one was really nice. It's almost a little bit tricky to discern this scent from the original one, but nonetheless, it was very nice. I can't repurchase it, so I won't repurchase it, but I actually need to get another Mugler Alien because it's just too good. It's like a classic, and it's my favorite scent of all time. I just love it. Okay, so we're on to the makeup, and it's actually like a little bit alarming, which is why I like kind of wanted to keep this, because I'm like, you know what? It's good to see what I use. It's good to see what I actually use, because it's a little alarming. So I did go through two different brow pens. So this one was by Uoma Beauty. This is their baby hair brow pencil. I enjoyed this one okay. It's a little bit tricky because it's a so if you like a really fine brow pencil, I think you would love this. It's a super fine tip, and so I was able to be pretty precise with it, and so in that way I did enjoy it. But it wasn't a product I could do like my whole brow routine with, versus this one by e.l.f. This is their instant brow lift, or lift brow, excuse me. This one is like pretty quick and easy. It's not super precise, so you do have to do like more of that cleaning up. But on days when I'm like not really going for a full beat, this is just like a little bit more easy peasy lemon squeezy. But on days when I really wanted to be precise and really carve them out well, this one was nice. Something's going on with Uoma. I was just listening. Oh my gosh, what's her name? Jen. I can't think of her last name, but regardless, she was just talking something's going on with Uoma Beauty, so I probably won't buy this one again. And this one I actually already have a backup of, so I don't need to buy it right now. But I do enjoy these. I enjoyed them both. Like, they both have a place in my collection. But again, something's going on with Uoma, so I'm probably not gonna repurchase from them unless it was on like Ulta's website or something. And I would encourage you to do the same. I heard that they're not, like, people are placing orders on their websites and they're not sending them out. And Sharon C, like the CEO, stepped down back in June, and like that's around the time they stopped sending orders. So something fishy is going on around there. So if you are gonna order from them, I would only order it from like Ulta or something. I finally went through this by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is her loose setting powder. I had the shade Vanilla. This took me so long to go through. It was absolutely insane. That being said, there's 25 grams or 0.9 ounces of product in here. There's a ton of powder. The problem would have been is that I didn't love it. It was an okay powder, but it was absolutely not my favorite. Like, I love the Huda Beauty setting powder. I also really love the Wayne Goss setting powder. This one is not that. It does not smooth out the look of pores. It did not keep me matte all day, and those are the two things, like, if I'm going to be using a powder, those are things that I'm looking for. And that did not do it. So I absolutely will not repurchase that. I have a backup actually that I almost decluttered last year and then I didn't. Regardless, I should have decluttered it because I don't love that powder. It's just not my favorite. I somehow missed 2 brow products, God knows how. I also went through the Hourglass Brow Micro Sculpting Pencil. This one is very similar to the Yoma Beauty one. The problem I had with this one is that, actually, yes, it's ash blonde, and so it was just a little bit light, so I definitely had to go in with something else to like, because my natural brow hairs, I know my brows look horrific today, and they're too dark, but this one was like too light, so I had to go back in with something else. At that time though, I was using this. This is by Milk, and it's their Cush Fiber Brow Gel. I love this. This was actually really, really good. I had mine in the shade Dutch, so it's one of those that has those fibers to it, and I really found that when I used this, my brows looked really nice. In hindsight, I probably should have picked some up while I could during the Sephora sale, but nonetheless, this was actually a really good product, and I feel like I don't hear anyone talking about it, but it's really good. I will absolutely be buying this again. I did go through another mascara, but that being said, I don't have it in front of me. I think I might have accidentally thrown it away because I put it in my work makeup bag. I've been doing overnights there, so I bring makeup in the morning so I can do my makeup there, but I did go through this one at the very least. This is the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Mascara. I did like this quite a bit. Mascara is one of those things that outside of the Essence Lash Princess, it's almost a little bit tricky to have loyalty because there's always new ones like coming out. That being said, of course, I love my Lash Princess, and actually, I know I went through one of those this year. I must have accidentally thrown it away because I can like see it. But I digress. So I went through the Lash Exhibitionist. I also went through the Tubing Mascara by Milani. And then finally, I did go through a Lash Princess this year. I just don't have them in here for some reason, but all 3 of them, great options. I did enjoy this. I did feel like this did a decent job of giving me some volume and length. It's not my all-time favorite mascara, but I liked it nonetheless. For a primer, thank God I finally went through this. This is by Tatcha. It's the Liquid Silk Canvas. I really enjoy this one. It does a nice job of like blurring and smoothing out my base. That being said, it's not necessarily going to be something that like makes my makeup last any longer, because it doesn't have like any kind of grip to it. Honestly, it like just smooths everything out. So I love this. I don't know that I'll repurchase it right away because you'll see I'm doing my declutters pretty soon here, and I have a ton of primers that I need to go through, so I won't repurchase this right away, but it is a really nice classic option to blur the pores, smooth out the face. But I think if you're looking for longevity, I would use another primer in conjunction with this. I would put this down to smooth and then use something with like a little bit of tact to get your makeup to adhere to your face. I went through a setting spray this year. This one is by Nimya, and it's the Set It and Forget It setting spray. I actually really liked this. My gripe with Nimya is that they're not super accessible in terms of I can't even remember where I bought this now. It wasn't Beauty Bay. It was, oh my gosh, I can't remember. Regardless, it was, of course, somewhere based over in Europe, and that is my only like kind of gripe with it, is that like I'm not somebody that shops Beauty Bay very frequently. I probably should. But for me, like, I wish that there was another retailer that they were in, but regardless, this was actually a really, really nice spray. I really did feel like this elongated the amount of wear time of my makeup, and it had a beautiful, beautiful mister. So 10 out of 10. I love this. The last product, I'm so sorry, this, oh my gosh. Oh. It's been half an hour of me just like babbling about trash. But the last product I have is by Charlotte Tilbury. This was her Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder. I had mine in the shade One Fair, and it was totally toast. Totally toast. I really enjoy this one. The trouble I have, honestly, with like pressed powders is that I go through them so speedily, and this one is so expensive. It's like $50 for this little compact. And so, for instance, like right now I'm using this one by CoverGirl. Let's see here. This has 10 grams. This one has 8 grams. So it has even less. And it is about 5 times the price. I like this one though. You know what I mean? Like, so, yes, I probably will repurchase it in the future. But it's, I don't know. This one is just, I feel like it's just as good. Like, my face looks blurred and smooth. It allows for like a little bit of like my natural oil to peek through, but like not so much that I look like a grease ball. So, and it comes with more product, and this was like $11 at most. So I don't know, I do like this. It does a nice job of blurring and smoothing, and you don't get a lot of product. So just like, it's like a luxury to have it, you know. I enjoyed it. I loved it when I did have it, and I don't know that I need to be like running out necessarily and grabbing one. That being said, I would like to own it again. Those were all of my makeup, skincare, beauty empties. I feel like that was a lot. Hopefully you guys found this somewhat helpful, somewhat entertaining, kind of talking about the products that like I did enjoy, and it also kind of puts into perspective, what do we use in a year? So if even if you don't create content, I encourage you to do something like this. I just keep it in like a little plastic tub with a lid that seals, and I stick it like under my chair in the corner over here. But it does put into perspective, like, what do you actually use up in a year? Because I can guarantee you, like, I went through 3 mascaras, and I probably bought at least 3 mascaras this year. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't go through a single foundation. And I know I bought multiple foundations, you know. So it's just it's good to put ourselves and our habits into perspective, and it's also, I think, helpful for me. I enjoy like watching this type of content because it's helpful to know, like, okay, you used the whole darn thing up. Did you like it? Like, will you repurchase it? I think that that's really helpful, because I think in the moment, like when we're testing and trying new things, it's like, oh, this is working really well for me. But like sometimes it's working really well, and then we like find something else that we love, and we, you know, don't necessarily finish that product before we declutter it. So it's like one thing to like review something and like enjoy it, but it's another thing to like totally use it up and be like, I need that back, actually. I have to have that. So I love to see what other people are loving and what they've used up. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would love it so much if you would subscribe to my channel down below. As always, please stay happy, stay healthy, and stay blessed, and I will see you on next video. Bye.